You ever watch someone ruin their own life step by step? And the crazy part is they still think they're in control. Like you can literally see the moment they could stop. And they don't. Yeah. That morning in that bakery, that's exactly what happened. And I was standing right in the middle of it, holding a cup of coffee that went cold before I even realized my day had turned into something else entirely. It was supposed to be simple, you know what I mean? Just coffee, a quick bite, maybe 10 minutes of quiet before work. I had a meeting later that morning, nothing unusual, just another day doing what I've been doing for years. Investigating cases nobody wants to talk about, digging into patterns people pretend don't exist, that kind of work. So I walked into this place, nice little bakery, clean, polished, one of those spots where everything looks expensive but nobody says it out loud. People inside, soft music playing, the smell of fresh bread, everything calm, predictable. The kind of calm that doesn't last. I ordered a black coffee, grabbed a croissant, made a little joke with the cashier just to ease the tension I could already feel in the room. You get used to that feeling after a while. People looking without looking, measuring you without saying a word. I sat by the window, set my phone down, just took a breath for a second. And honestly, I remember thinking, this is nice, quiet, peaceful, just for a minute. Then the door opened. You can always tell, even if you don't look up right away. Heavy steps, gear shifting, that subtle change in the air when authority walks into a room and everybody notices at the same time but pretends they didn't. I kept my eyes on my coffee, took another sip, but I already knew where those steps were headed. Right to me. "You waiting on somebody?" he asked. I looked up, calm, steady. "Yeah. Live around here." That's when I knew what kind of conversation this was going to be. Does that matter? He didn't like that. You could see it immediately. Shoulders tighten, voice changes, just a little louder now so other people could hear. "I asked if you live around here. And I asked why that matters," I said. People nearby stopped pretending. You could feel it. That moment when everybody knows something's off but nobody wants to be the one to say it out loud. He leaned in closer. "We've had reports. Suspicious activity." I glanced around the room, then back at him. In a bakery. That hit his ego harder than anything. "Stand up." I stayed seated. Took another bite of my croissant, slow, deliberate. "I'm eating." I said, "Stand up. And unless you can explain what law I'm breaking, I'm going to finish breakfast." You could hear a couple nervous laughs, people trying to release that pressure building in the room. He heard it too. And that's when it flipped. It wasn't about me anymore. It was about him. "ID now. Number." He blinked like he didn't hear me right. "Excuse me." I said no, not without a reason. That was it. He grabbed my arm. Now here's the thing. When someone like that puts hands on you, you got a choice. React and suddenly you're resisting. Stay calm, and maybe you get through it without things getting worse. So I stood up, slow, controlled, looked him right in the eye and said, "Take your hand off me. Turn around. You're making a mistake. Turn around." I sighed. Not out of fear, out of frustration, because I've seen this before. Too many times. "Listen," I told him, quiet but clear, "inside my jacket is a credential wallet. You should really look at it." He smirked. "What security?" I didn't answer. I just watched him. He reached in, pulled it out, flipped it open, and for a split second, just a split second, I saw it. That pause. That flicker when his brain realized something didn't match the story he had already decided on. And instead of stopping, he pushed forward. "Fake," he said. I almost laughed. "Don't do this." "You think I'm stupid?" "I think you're about to be," I said. He snapped the first cuff on my wrist. Phones came out instantly. You could hear people whispering, recording that low buzz of something about to go very wrong. Outside, it got worse. He shoved me against the hood of his car, searched me, rough, found my service weapon, and jumped back like he'd just discovered something dangerous. "Gun, he's armed." I kept my face against the metal calm. "Yeah, because I'm federal." He didn't hear it, or maybe he didn't want to. Then, like something out of a movie, a car pulled in fast behind us. Door swung open and Dana walked out, the prosecutor I was supposed to meet. She took one look at me in cuffs and just froze. "What are you doing?" she shouted. He turned annoyed. "Step back." "No, you step back," she snapped. "Do you even know who that is?" He started talking, trying to justify it, words coming out fast, now shaky under the surface. He had fake credentials. He's armed. That man, she cut him off, runs federal civil rights investigations. And you'd think that would be the moment everything stops, right? Like, okay, mistake made, let's fix it. But I said, "Don't uncuff me." Everybody went quiet. He looked confused. "What?" "Don't stop now," I said. "You already made the arrest. Let's finish it. Let's make it official." Because see, I wasn't interested in a quiet apology. I wanted a record, every second of it. A few minutes later, federal vehicles rolled in. My team stepped out calm, controlled, the kind of presence that doesn't need to shout. The officer's whole energy changed. You could see it draining out of him. The ride to the station, that's when it really hit him. He kept trying to talk, trying to soften it. Maybe we can clear this up. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. I just looked out the window. You ignored the badge. That was all I said. At the station, things unraveled fast. People staring, whispering phones, ringing supervisors, scrambling. The chief came in, took one look, and knew this wasn't something you smooth over. "Take the cuffs off," he said. They came off. He tried to shake my hand. I didn't take it. "This is a misunderstanding," he said. "No," I told him. "This is a pattern." And then I started laying it out. Complaints, reports, cases that never went anywhere, the look on his face. Yeah, that happened. He knew exactly what I was talking about. The prosecutor backed me up, said she was opening an investigation, and that's when panic really set in. Because once it's not just one officer, once it's the whole system, people start making desperate choices. Later that day, they made the worst one. They tried to fix it. See, instead of owning it, the officer and the chief decided to create a story that would justify what happened. A fake dispatch call, a made-up report. They went into the system and wrote it like it had always been there. Problem is, they didn't know they were being recorded. I had a device on me, standard issue for certain operations, recording everything within range. And when they sat in that office talking through their plan, typing in that fake timeline, it picked up every word. Now, I could have released that immediately, ended it right there. But my lawyer told me something that stuck. Let them talk, he said, let them get comfortable. So we waited. At the deposition, they sat there confident, like they had built themselves a safety net. The officer told his story. Dispatch call, suspicious individual, standard procedure. The chief backed him up, confirmed the timeline. And then my lawyer played the recording. I'll never forget that moment. You could feel the air leave the room, just gone. Their own voices clear as day, talking about how to fake the report, how to make it look real. No spin, no interpretation, just truth. The officer looked like he was going to pass out. The chief didn't even try to speak. And that's when it shifted, from civil case to criminal. Agents walked in, placed them both under arrest right there. No delay, no warning, just like that. The same cuffs they put on me, now on them. Funny how that works. After that, everything came crashing down. The case, the department, the city itself. Settlement hit millions. Insurance refused to cover it because it wasn't a mistake anymore. It was intentional, so the city paid. Projects canceled, taxes raised. People who never cared before suddenly had opinions. They went to prison. Not suspended, not reassigned. Prison. And me, I had a choice. Take the money, move on live comfortably, forget the whole thing. Or do something else. I used it to build something. A legal defense fund right there in that same community. For people who get stopped, searched, questioned for no reason other than how they look, where they sit, how they exist. And I named it after them. Yeah, I did that. Not to honor them, to remind everyone. Because people forget. Systems reset, stories fade, but names on a building, those stay. Now here's the question. Was that justice? Or was that too far? Some people say I should have taken the money and walked away. Others say this is exactly what accountability looks like. So what do you think? If you were in that situation, would you have done the same, or would you have let it go? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've ever seen something like this happen or been through it yourself, I want to hear that too. Because stories like this don't end when the cameras stop. They just get quieter.